Let's talk about miniatures. I've been known to do some role-playing.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Miniature Mashup. I appreciate you guys coming to this channel, watching my show. A while back I talked about these extreme fighting wrestling figures from the Dollar Tree and made a sort of Lovecraftian monster out of one. Today I'm going to be using the other figure, and I'll be making a fire giant, because sure, there are fire giants available from Wizards of the Coast, but they're quite expensive and they're not as big. I don't really have a lot of things that are funny to say about fire giants, so I'm going to be talking about the materials I'm using today, so some of the stuff that went into the process, and of course, starting with the extreme fighting action playset wrestling figures from the Dollar Tree. And this guy is clearly the breakout character. He is the Fonzie of that playset. Maybe the Snake Eyes, if you need a later reference. Man, there's a reason why wrestlers' masks are more colorful and brightly ornamented than this, okay? He looks like a serial killer. And just to hammer that point home, they give him a chainsaw. And not any chainsaw, one where the blade is bigger than the motor that powers it.
Because he don't care about firewood, he warms himself with your blood.
Yeah, pretty creepy, huh? His eyes are just like... This guy's like a Batman villain, a white mask with little golden sperm all over it. I am the golden sperm. I only rob sperm bank. What's that then? It looks like a Metroid's arsehole. No, these are actually silicone molds that I've made. I'm not gonna do a how-to with the silicone molds because there's a bunch out there, and oh, you want me to add a fart and really make it my own? I mean, I guess if you guys begged me, but I know you're not gonna, so just put in silicone mold into the YouTube searchy bar and you'll find a bunch of people, but it's really easy. You just need some silicone, some glycerin and water. Believe me, it's cheap. It's just a great way to reproduce things. In this project, I reproduced this little amulet from, which is also from a dollar store, I think. It certainly wasn't more than $1. As a shield, you can see it's got a nice little pattern on it. It's got a shield shape, very cool. And this little armor shield, this little shield with the chaos symbol, I turned into armor for our giant. And this also came from a dollar store. This was part of a toy set. And they're kind of rubbery, they're very tough. They handle hot glue very well, and that's what I use right now. I want to find if there's some kind of putty that's really cheap and really reliable, even if it just takes a while to sort of cure, please tell me. I'd love to know a good putty that can be used with silicone molds. I'm not using all my hot glue up. I'm sure there's probably something that's more economic than that. Leave that in the comments, please. You recognize that shape? It's from the old Hero Quest game. Now, this was the top of the sarcophagus. Yeah, these are not that piece. These are reproductions using silicone molds and hot glue. There's blocks of wood underneath to be the bottom of the coffin, as you can see. I've got 4 of them, and I can keep pumping them out. You know, go up to like 12. After a while, I think it's diminishing return. Brings me to this silicone mold. Getting back to the Catholic iconography, this is from a crucifix. I wasn't trying... people, I posted an image of this. I know, I've got this sort of tank here with what is clearly Jesus hanging in it. That was not my intention. I just wanted a character who was sort of suspended like a prisoner, because they do make miniatures like that, but you know me, I got the crucifix for 50 cents, and I thought maybe it would come across right. I wasn't trying to do a game where they clone Jesus. I know people were like concerned, kind of put off. You try to run a game where they clone Jesus! I am not that guy. And this is just a really nice toothpick container, again from a dollar store, and this, I believe, is from some kind of a juice drink or something, this cap. I'm not entirely sure. It might be a Nestle Quick milk cap, I think. Something like that. And I painted Jesus up, and I thought he would look different. I thought if I painted him right and put him in this, he would be my own. But I realized there's a reason why you don't see a lot of crucified 28mm miniatures, because no matter what, they look like Jesus. And if they don't, that's even worse. I guess if you had a crucified orc, that would probably cause some controversy. So, yeah, stay away from this. This is sort of a misstep. So we're starting with our ponytail wearing, cut-off sleeve t-shirt wearing wrestler dude. If you ask me, Billy Ray Cyrus has a pretty good case for a unlicensed likeness suit. We're just going to apply a lot of hot glue. We're not going to take anything off this model. We're just going to model this cheap plastic dollar store wrestler. We're just going to add to him. I'm going to glue a plastic novelty skull that I've used in many other projects. It's a Halloween ring onto his shoulder as sort of a shoulder pad. And I'm using this sort of turtle fin shaped piece of plastic for his back armor. And that came out of the True Legends bucket of Mythical Warriors, and it's a really nice fit. It looks almost like it's supposed to go there. And we're gonna drill holes in his feet, and I'm gonna put a screw up through this cardboard and plastic base I've made up into his foot, and he's on there really firmly. Trust me, you dremel the hole in, and then you take a little machine screw and you screw that in. I screwed that in by hand, and it's really nice. It's very strong. And then I use hot glue to hold the other foot on the base. Hot gluing some of my plastic bead gems, although honestly I think a better glue would have been E6000. So if I had to do that over, I'd probably use E6000. Not that they've come off, but I think you can get a better bond of plastic to plastic with E6000 instead of trying to use hot glue for everything. It's not always the best adhesive. Also had to drill a couple of holes into his forearm where his shield's gonna go, and also onto his belt where this piece of armor is gonna go. These are the reproduced pieces of jewelry that I had, and the toy shield, and these are made out of hot glue. I trimmed up as neatly as I could. They do look a little beat up, which is alright. This sword is also out of the same toy set that the shield came out of from the dollar store, and we're just gonna hot glue that into his hand and adjust that nicely and get that to fit real good. Then I sprayed him down with a gray spray paint. I used the last of my black spray primer, so I'm off to the store at some point to get more of that. So I did him in gray, and that means I'm adding a black base coat, nice and thin, all over. I actually did a few coats until we get a nice solid black. The paint's quite watered down. I'm just going over it again and again. I'm using my little hot glue gun to fill in the holes in the back of his legs, just to make him look a little better. It doesn't need these giant gaping holes in the back. We're going to paint over those, and we're putting a nice coat of burnt sienna mixed with some black underneath for his boots and leggings. I'm going to go over that again and again until it's, again, until you can't see any of that gray underneath. Then we're going to dry brush gray onto his flesh, just for highlights, to make those details pop. You know, the raised areas are nice and light. We'll do the same in the back. I hit the skull with the same, although we are going to go over the skull with metal. We're also going to dry brush metal onto all of his armor, silver specifically. I'm using just craft paint, silver craft paint. You could probably get better results with something from Reaper or Warhammer, but I like the silver craft paint okay. I think it looks pretty good. I'm doing Turner yellow over the leggings to make them look a little nasty, just for highlights. Turner yellow is kind of a nice dirty look to it. Makes the leather look a little stressed. Makes the lacing on his boots pop out a little bit. And here I am putting the metal paint I was just talking about. We're going to get the armor all over the back. Let's take a look at the finished product.
What a sight to see him jog and walk after block. Things begin to shake and quake and rattle and rock. The big
I really enjoy doing the show, and I just wanted to say thank you to all of you who keep tuning in every week, giving me those likes, giving me those comments. It's just something I really enjoy, and I'd really like more people to see these videos. So if you enjoy the videos, can you spread them around places? Take them to forums, maybe put them on your social media, get people to see them. Do you have a friend who's into miniatures just like you? Someone you play Warhammer with maybe, or D&D? Pick your favorite one and send it to somebody. That's all I'm asking. If you could just spread it a little bit, I really could use a bigger audience. And again, thank you for tuning in.